Okay, so now that the April Fool's Day joke of a snowstorm has ended, or at least it's not snowing right now. I mean, come on. Enough already. Anyway, there's at least 2 cats out here, maybe 3. Not 4. Anyway, okay, first of all, I'm sorry, I sound like an idiot when I do all this hemming and hawing, but if you have seen the stuff I've been putting up on Instagram, and I don't know what's up with this car. Oh, there's Perry. Anyway, let me get squished by this car. Unless it's a cop, which might explain the weirdness. Nope, not a cop. Anyway, getting to it. I've been putting up pictures on Instagram from my latest trip, specifically to Meow Wolf, which is an installation in Las Vegas. And about that, if you're so inclined to go, and I would recommend it to just about anybody. I mean, it was overwhelming in the best way. But I truly did probably less than half of what's available there, because I went and I was gobsmacked and just amazed at everything I was seeing, at the creative puns, the visual puns, but I did not interact. And I've described it before as like a children's museum for adults. I knew the type of thing it was. I didn't actually look anything up about details about what it was. I wanted to be surprised when I got there, and I was, and it was wild and awesome. But there's a lot of stuff that you sort of have to touch and interact with that I didn't do. Here comes Perry. A lot of things like just objects, random objects, they look like totally normal, but you touch them and they start glowing, or you touch them and they play music or something like that. I didn't do any touching. There were a lot of computers that you can interact with. There were also a lot of people. One, it's a pandemic, but 2, it's people. If somebody was doing something, I just got away from them. I didn't wait my turn. I didn't push by them. I didn't hover over their necks. And I didn't do any of that stuff. I also didn't really interact with the people. I think they're called creative operatives. Actors, basically. There were 2 that I interacted with. One who was just like totally normal, like a normal employee, was not one of these actor people who was just like, yeah, these puns are great. The other one hunted me down with a little puppet, which is weird. I mean, well, that's the point. The entire point is being weird. But if you do interact with them, apparently they'll give you some sort of access card, and that there are all these... Up, here he comes. It's too cold for you to be running after me, cat. Wait on, you can see. You can't see. You can see the wind, but you can't see Perry. There he is. This looks like an old 70s movie. Literally, that's the wind, that white stuff. It's kind of some weather today. Anyway, So yeah, I didn't do the interacting. I didn't do any of the storytelling stuff. There is an entire story in the place and like a mystery, and you can like figure it out. I think if you went back 10 times, you would find more and more stuff every time you went. It's astounding. Am I going back to Las Vegas to look at it again? It would be cool, but the answer would be no. However, they are opening the biggest ever one, 90,000 square feet, in Denver later this year. So, I might have a schedule conflict, but then again, these are open for a little while. So, I think Denver's going on my short list to see this. Anyway, yeah. So, the point, okay, so let's see, what have I done? I'll just give you a real quick what I did today. What I did today was, first I went to go see my son. He lives by himself now, and he's a very poor housekeeper, let's put it that way. He has very bad executive functioning skills and ADHD, well documented. So he really should get a housekeeper. So anyway, he had me come over to do that. Now, in the past, it's been like a pretty bad experience because he's embarrassed that he's living in such a messy place, and that, it's not that he's incapable of doing it, it's that he's incapable of having motivation, and so he needs somebody with him to do it alongside him, and he'll, go like the Energizer Bunny when somebody's with him, but he doesn't touch it if they're not. So he needed me there, and I have figured out how to basically keep him settled, and this is going to sound like duh, this is parenting 101, which is to feed him first. If he's well fed, then he's not grumpy. Maybe that was his problem this entire time. Okay, this is me trying to minimize and beat myself up and say that I was a terrible parent and I should have figured this out. But maybe that was it. I wonder where Perry went. Poppy! That's Poppy. Poppy! He went through the woods the back way. Poppy! Sorry for the yelling. But he's lost. And so I gotta find him. I really don't want to go up here. Oh, that's him right there. Let's get some light. Maybe. There he is. Pop! And here's Perry. And here's Poppy. I can't see him. Okay, I've got the light on and you can't see him. This is a great light. Oh, you can see his eyes. Anyway, it's freezing. Should we go up to see the ghost? Yeah, let's go up to see the ghost and then we'll go back. It's only like another couple houses. I knew that also was a joke too. But, that's a little difficult. Actually, it's not really gonna, if I hear the ghost, everybody will say it's wind. It's a crazy wind. You can't hardly see them. Anyway, I can't hardly see them. And I'm looking for the cats and I know where they are. Pop! Come on! I think he's discombobulated. Come here, Poppy. What are you doing way over there? Yeah, he's confused. And then Perry's looking up in the tree. This is weird. Anyway, come on, Poppy. This is not a good time for you to be out gallivanting. Hey, Pop. Anyway, yeah. So it went better than expected. A lot better than expected. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just that we've been apart for long enough that he's just doing better. Maybe he's just doing better. I don't know, really good. The other thing I did today was a very adventurous day. I saw my father again for the first time in 14 months. I don't usually talk about my father. My father was a pretty violent guy when I was growing up. But now he has Alzheimer's and he's lost his mind and he's kind of very docile. And he also apparently 3 weeks ago had a mild stroke. So that was rough going to the hospital. I didn't recognize him at first, no joke. Mostly because he had long hair. Hasn't had it cut. I don't know why. Come on, cats! I don't know, they're off being bad. I'm going back. It's too cold. He can have a conversation much easier when he's not on the phone, but when he's in person. Still incredibly, they think he's hallucinating. He has some pretty huge mindfuck type things going on where he thinks literally he's seeing people murdering children. And he's terrified by it. And it's like, oh my God. So he didn't, in addition to losing his mind and not having any memories, very few, he did remember me after a while. He at least remembered I was a kind person. He wanted a hug when I left, and I hugged him, which is weird. It's been so many decades since I hugged my father. But he smiled. And so, I don't know. He remembered me at least a little. Again, remembered maybe that I'm a good person as opposed to everybody else that's been here the entire time. Up and down looking at doors trying to get out. And the wind is crazy and I'm not sure you can even hear a word I'm saying because of it. I'm sorry. Anyway. So I had a busy day. But see, if I walk backward, maybe the wind won't be so bad. What are the after effects of going on this trip? Especially because I interacted with people in ways that I wouldn't have wanted while I was on this trip. I don't know, I jumped right back into work. I worked 3 or 4 days directly, my plane landed at 3:15 and I was working at 5 o'clock. I went right back to work. These cats. It's sort of like this bright spot memory of this oddball thing that I did, that I went and did this stuff. I mean, it's almost like a movie at this point already. Here they come. The wind is too bright to see. There's Poppy with his laser eyes. Oh my goodness, he's crazy. And there's Perry. Oh. This weather is nuts. And it really was snowing earlier. So, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So, yes, it has had the result that I wanted, which was to perk me up and to pep me up and to give me something to think about other than how much everything sucks in the world. Because it doesn't actually suck in the world, not really. Okay, see, listen to that change. I mean, that's why I travel. And, it is radically different from this time last year. Even I was still reeling from the terrible mental anguish that I went through in January, February, and March last year. Yeah, I really had a bad time of it. I mean, I talk about it every once in a while. I don't think I can possibly explain exactly how bad it was and how dangerous it was. And that's like something I went through, and I got past it. And for the most part, other than me going, what's different? Oh, yes, there was this huge, massive dip. Other than that, I don't really focus at all on it anymore. I mean, what was, constant ideation, not even just daily, but literally could not get it out of my head, is the only thing I thought about all the time. Maybe a couple times a week. And usually I can knock it right back down. I'm like, okay, well, what is it really? Because it's not what this is. That's not real. Let's be real. Do I want to live for another 20 years? I'd say no right now. I can't look that far ahead. But do I not want to live, say, for the next year? Do I have some interesting stuff going on that I can keep going? Yeah, I'd rather live for another, at least year. You bet. That's a huge change. I don't know where Poppy went. I do know there are limbs down, and I probably should be getting home. Okay. So, now, the next thing that I actually wanted to talk about, I suppose I should split this into two videos, so I'd rather make it real quick into one. Basically, who the hell do I think I am? Traveling all over the place and then saying I'm avoidant. Oh, here comes Poppy. Generally, I believe, I'm not sure, okay, don't quote me on this, or tell me I'm wrong, or whatever. I'd be willing to bet, because the people who are in charge of making these assessments don't actually have a clue because they never had it themselves. I'd be willing to bet that they would say, what is the actual phrasing? Something like openness to experience or something like that. In other words, okay, that'll cover it. You get it. Whether you're open to having new experiences or not. They would say that people with avoidant personality disorder, hard no. I would say bullshit. I have yet to meet a person with avoidant personality disorder who was not fascinated by learning new things in one way or another. It just doesn't spill over into people, and not because they're not interested, but because they can't be. So yes, I think that it's part of being avoidant. The fact that I'm actually able to do it, again, I've said a million times that I think there's two kinds of people. I hear another cat. The people who feel sort of like they're able to breathe only around the people that are closest to them, and the people who are able to breathe only with true strangers that they're never going to have to interact again. So I hear this retirement crap. I must be retired. Excuse me. It does cost money to go on these trips. No, I'm not retired. And I don't understand people who wait until they're retired to do stuff like that. I mean, I understand if you have a schedule and a work thing in the way where you must work 40 hours a week. Here comes a car. Cats don't freak. Please don't freak out, cat. Please don't freak out, cat. It's okay. Anyway, I understand that if you are only able to take off 2 weeks a year and not have a flexible schedule like I can do, that I understand. Not traveling. But I understand waiting. Oh, there's knocking up here. This is windy. I'm probably going to get killed by a falling limb. Don't do that in a nutshell. Do what you can to make whatever. Oh, the cats are looking at it too. I don't know what's over there. Whatever it is that will sort of have you escape and will have you get a break from the constant weighing down of avoidant personality disorder. Because the thing is, it doesn't go away, but it's something you can kind of get more comfortable with sometimes. Uh-oh, here comes another car. It's okay, Perry. Please don't run into the street. Oh my God, that would suck so bad. That would suck so bad, wouldn't it, Perry? Yeah. Do whatever you can. So what am I doing on my trips? Yes, it's a massive distraction to go to these brand new places that I haven't been or I haven't been in a long time, and do something different that I hadn't done before. And like I've said, I try every time to do something that actually scares me. I didn't really do it this time, although I did talk to more people, believe it or not, in Las Vegas than I do or have done on probably any other trip. So for me, that's scary. It's like a common scariness. I usually try to actually fit. Like walking up to a volcano, that's pretty scary, Or that time I went up in the hot air balloon, that's pretty scary. Actually do something scary that's outside of my realm. I don't know what's making that noise. It's the trees. It's very windy out here. I gotta go back inside. But what am I running away from? Because I'm not running to anything when I do these trips. What I'm running away from is getting my brain to sort of... Oh, it's so weird, those sounds. I gotta get out of here. Letting my brain start ruminating and dwelling. So that's what I'm doing when I go on my trips, is I'm running away from a ruminating brain. There's only so many books you can read, although I read a lot. I read like 3 or 4 books a week, a lot of books, to the point where our library reopened and I got something like 8 books out of the library, and they're like, wow, that's a real lot. I'm like, not for me. You can get up to 50. I don't have 50, so no, I don't have a real lot yet. And by the way, what I'm doing here is, there's Perry. But, you see the wind. It's crazy, so I'm not putting the lights on. Yeah. So that was the point of the video, was I was going to say, what am I doing? I'm running away from people. That's what I'm doing on these travel, because it does look like I got my life together, that look, I'm doing this fabulous stuff. And I know that. And it's pretty surface, because I'm still alone. And I still have not dealt with my avoidant personality disorder. I've just found a really good distraction for it. One that suits me and one that is very effective. But let me tell you, I was home less than 24 hours before I started thinking, I need to start planning on my next trip. And you can ask anybody, well, there's very few, 2 people maybe, that I was talking to, and they will tell you, yeah, I was like, where's the next place? Let me get the next place. I've actually got a trip booked that I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it, because the entire point is to take international trips, and we sort of can't do that anymore because I'm a dirty American and we've all got this virus. I don't have the virus anymore, but I had it. I mean, so there we go. You know what I think those sounds are? I think they're plastic coverings on the electric wires, and they're shaking and vibrating. Anyway, yeah. I think this is the point of this video, because I'm scattered and cold and not really making any sense. Other than, yeah, that's what I'm doing, is trying not to ruminate and trying to create memories that I can ruminate about that are not totally humiliating to myself, but are actually kind of better and brighter and bigger. And so if I'm like, let's think of memories, I'm going to think of, I don't know, swimming with the manta rays, which, by the way, I still have not even looked at that footage yet, and it's been over 2 months. And why haven't I looked at it? Because there goes Poppy. Even with the light on, you can't see him. Because I really suck at editing, and it's a whole bunch of clips, and I probably should not put them up as one after the other, and I think they're too long for Instagram, and they should go up as a video. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and actually edit, even though I suck at it and I hate it. But I've been researching how to do it, and who knows, maybe I might actually learn at some point how to edit well, and when I do, I can put up a video, and it'll probably suck, and then I'll probably re-edit it better at some point. So yeah, I can still beat myself up with these memories and say, oh, but I should do this and I should do that. Or I can think better things, and that's what the traveling is doing. I'm ruminating better ruminations, and I am distracting with the planning of future trips. And I'm spending about the same amount I would have spent on therapy and getting more out of it. For me, this works for me. It probably wouldn't work for everybody else, but you might find something like that could work for you. Give it a shot. Okay, let's get out of here, out of this wind.